Okay, well, you're looking at my little robot. It is functioning, but I started to have stuttering, and I promised you guys before that I was going to make a video on how to address that stuttering issue, which I think probably everyone encounters after the first time they start cleaning their robot or something else happens. They take the bonnet off. I kind of walk through a few things just so you guys understand the terms. I have a vacuum here with me. I have a little cleaning solution. I have a pair of nitrile gloves that I use for kind of cleaning just for myself. And I'm just going to show you. So the bonnet is this part that's attached here. I'm going to turn the robot off just for a second while we're doing this. To remove the bonnet, there's these two buttons on the side. And the reason it's a little bit hard to remove if you've done it properly, if you put it installed properly, is that the back clip here, this part, is actually set in first. And I think this is what happens over the course of time when you use the machine. And when it rotates, the globe actually kind of lifts and pushes up against this, gives it some weight, flexes this joint here, which is what holds it in. Actually, this is the trick of the entire problem, as well as some of the sensors down here. So these two little metal sensors connect, and you can kind of bend them just a little bit gently. It's kind of helpful to do that every once in a while, and just kind of rub them, make sure the contacts are dry. But this is the crux of most people's problem. When I spoke to Little Robot on the phone, they said, make sure you flex this thing out nice and good before you put it back on. So what they're saying is they want you to actually kind of hold this piece out, and I'm doing it to both sides. Not sure if you can see it in the video frame, but holding the pieces at kind of a 90-degree angle to just give them a little bit of outward flex. And I'm going to pull the globe off just to make this easy and show you how I do a little bit of cleaning too, and also just show you how this goes back on, because it's easier with the globe off for you guys to see. So once I've kind of bent them, they flex outward a little bit. So the globe is full. I'm going to take it off, I'm going to put it on the ground. I'm going to do a little bit of cleaning before and after this video, but you guys can see there's actually kind of a mess here. I have my vacuum. I like to vacuum this out here. Apologize for the noise, but I think it's important that you see what goes into cleaning this. Okay, enough of that. It's enough noise. So actually, those metal contacts I was showing you, they go in here. That back piece of the bonnet clip rests here, and that needs to go in actually first. So the globe isn't on, but what you can see is when the globe is here and you reset it, these two back clips have to set in there first before you lower the front into place. And that's what it looks like, obviously with the globe off. But if you're not careful and you're resetting this, one thing that I think a lot of owners don't know is if you're not kind of looking at the back, especially when the globe is there, it's easy to kind of just put this on. And this clip is now not in that spot, but behind it. And in my mind, it's locked, but in reality, so like it is locked in place, but that piece is still behind. And what happens is this contact is loose, and as the globe is rotating and lifting, it actually causes the little robot to not recognize where the globe is oriented and causes that stutter stop. So a lot of times people have their first little problem with the globe, they start to clean it, and then they replace the bonnet, and then they've actually caused themselves more problems, which kind of an unusual situation, but that is the main issue. So what I'm going to do is show you how that goes. This spot here, also a lot of people send me messages that, they're like, oh, I put the globe back on and it's acting all kind of funny. This is actually directly attached to the shield, and that, if it's in the vertical downward position in that groove, it holds the shield in place. That way the globe rotates. I don't know if you guys can see this in frame, so I'm actually gonna lift it here a little bit, but it's not easy. Anyway, this piece that's in here, if it's not set in there, it will just fall down. So you kind of reach behind the globe, hold one hand on the top when you're putting it back in. one hand on the black piece and make sure it's in the downward position. So, boom. It's pretty good. I actually don't think I set the globe in quite evenly, so I'm just gonna let it rotate one little bit there. I'm still off a little bit, but there we go. Now I'm perfectly even. And the back bonnet piece that holds the, I'm sorry, not the back bonnet piece, the back globe piece that holds that in place is there. And then very carefully, so I think this is super important, I just lightly put this over the top and make sure the clip is just starting to go in. And then reach in the back, lift each side kind of individually. And make sure it seats. So seat the one side, seat the other side, make sure they're in place, and then kind of push in those two clips very slowly, and then it locks. And you can kind of feel along the back side that you can't lift that back corner that was loose before. That's the same on both sides. The globe will work now. It's not as clean as I wanted. I'm going to go off screen to do some more cleaning, but basically what I'll do is I put the gloves on, I will spray the little poop shield. I'll kind of spray this surface, I'll spray the sides a little bit. I leave the litter in place and then kind of let it do its thing. But I think what I want to point out again is if you watch very carefully, the globe tends to bounce as it rotates, and if the bonnet isn't attached securely on the side, that's kind of where all the problems get started. That's the most common cause of issues, and the same problem if you have a problem with the light as well, if you notice that that's involved. That's because that back bonnet piece isn't clipped in properly. That metal contact actually feeds the LED light. So hopefully that's helpful for you guys. Happy to answer more questions. Again, that's most of it for now.